Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for round 5 of my league with mono red tokens, essentially. Turn 1 YOLO all in Blood Moon. I don't love it, but I am going to be keeping it. The YOLO Blood Moon is definitely worse on the draw, and we're playing against our worst matchup. Not where I want to be. So the YOLO Blood Moon plan is not going to win me this game. If my opponent has a reasonable hand, I actually probably just don't win this game. So if I don't Blood Moon on turn 1 and I just get Wastelanded, I'm going to lose on the spot. If I Rabble Master on turn 1, the tokens are checked by Giver of Runes, and then any other creature actually checks the Goblin Rabble Master. So I think I've just straight up lost this one. How do I win? So I'm guessing that the worlds where I win involve my opponent just basically killing themselves. Just like making play errors or just like allowing me to get ahead. So I'm not going to play the Rabble Master on this turn, even though it represents the most possible damage over time, because its must attack every clause will be the goblins attacking every turn will just absolutely suck if my opponent is dropping turn 2 Stoneforge. I don't like this pause. This pause probably means that my opponent is considering wastelanding me. Yep. The pause taking that long, though, also probably means that they don't have another land. No, they did have another land. They didn't have 2-drops. This is all very surprising to me. Are they just gonna like? Okay, there's a 3-drop. All right, so this is now not great for me. So now I can't attack because the Flicker Wisp will just get protection from red, and I don't actually get anywhere. This one's over. Well, my opponent's keep seems pretty questionable. Actually, I'll wait to see which piece of equipment they get. Okay, you had to have one of those. Well, no, I guess you didn't have to have one of those on a previous turn. Alright, so this may be one of those times where I want to figure out how I'm going to play the matchup. So, like, Thought Knot, Abrade, Spyglass, and Snaring Bridge are all things that I can be thinking about, but I don't know that I can play Bridge. So I can't really deal damage to my opponent if I'm hiding behind a bridge with this build. So like I don't have like Chandra to plus. So if I'm hiding behind a bridge, my out is make a board that's scary enough full of goblins that I can kill in one attack. I don't know that that's where I really want to be. I think the only way that I'm winning this is by aggroing my opponent out. Like I can't meaningfully play the long game versus my opponent with this iteration of the deck. So I think that means I need the chalices to protect my threats. I'll probably drop my moons and my sun to round things out. Like, the Blood Moon can be very good when your opponent's on the Ether Vial start, but I don't think I want to spend my mana on this. I think I just want to spend my mana going threat into threat into threat and hoping that that's good enough. This is a really awkward hand. So I go Mountain on turn 1 and pass. Probably. Hope to draw a red card to Thought Knot on 2, otherwise I'll give up my Rabble Master to Thought Knot on 2 and Thought Knot on 3. And we do this without exposing my Ancient Tomb to Wasteland. This is a weird one. I think I keep. Note, I know that I could just, like, play City into Ancient Tomb to Thought Knot, but I don't know that that's my best route to victory. Like, having lands that stick around, I think, is pretty important. So I have another Thought Knot here for the following turn. I can take the Hallowed Spirit Keeper with the second Thought Knot Seer. I'm actually just going to take the Charming Prince here to guarantee that my Thought Knot Seer gets a hit on the next turn. So unless my opponent rips something absolutely disgusting, they're just going to wasteland my Ancient Tomb. Now we're just playing out like Eldrazi. My opponent bottomed with Charming Prince, by the way. I was thinking it in my head about how sick Abrade would be as a draw. It just gives me so much safety. So I think I'm going to hold up Abrade this turn rather than just play out Idol of Oblivion. Or sorry, rather than play out War Boss and draw a card. This potentially sets me up for, like, getting around an absolute blowout. Now, how do I feel? I think I'm willing to play out the post-combat Legion War boss. If my opponent has Stoneforge Mystic into Batterskull, I will still just, like, end up beating that via the Abrade. My opponent has nothing. Alright. We took the game on the play. That's not surprising at all. The one on the draw is going to be a lot harder. But again, I don't really think I can play this like I'm going to hide behind Ensnaring Bridge game all that well. Yeah, Red Prison always has a bad D&T matchup, but I feel like this version is going to end up having a worse D&T matchup. Like I don't have Chandra Torture Defiance or Chandra Awaken Inferno or like a Karn package to like try and turn this game around. Absolutely not with this hand. I just don't see this winning under any circumstances. I'll keep this one. All right, so what am I doing with my turns? So I'm going to play turn 1 Blood Sun so that my City of Traders don't go away. So I guess that means I'm getting rid of my mountain. Pretty happy to see my opponent not have a turn 1 play. Alright, so now I can't get Wastelanded or Ported out of this game. Very much like that part. If I drew like a Spirit Guide, I could both Thought-Knot Seer and play a Chalice on 1 to protect it. Oh man, are you going to revoke my Chrome Mox? I might just Chalice on 2 this turn. Oh, that makes that way more awkward. Alternatively, I can Thought-Knot Seer this turn, try to take something. Theoretically, Chalice on 3, but that seems real bad given my deck setup. Alternatively, I could Chalice on 1 to protect my threats and Sorcerer Spyglass this turn, then follow it up with Thought-Knot Seer next turn. If they don't have removal, though, playing the Chalice on 1 is just not great. This is tricky. Man, that Chalice is looking strong. I could have named something else other than Aether Vial with this Chalice, but like with the Flicker Wisp there, I think it's just correct to invalidate that as an out. Oh, so opponent has a lot of good cards. The Flicker Wisp can blink my Chalice. The Recruiter can get another Flicker Wisp to blink my Chalice. The Recruiter can also get Palace Jailer. Which I couldn't beat either. I think for tempo reasons, I need to take the Flicker Wisp here. If my opponent draws a land this turn and gets the Recruiter, like, so be it. But I think I need to try and hedge towards them missing on land drops while I, like, slowly try to pull myself into this game. It is somewhat tempting to play a Chalice on 3 and just try to ride this Thought-Knot Seer to victory. But I think it is correct to play it on 2. These things are theoretically beatable. Now I just need a red source. Like, I feel if I draw a red source and I can just throw down a war boss, I'm in such good shape. Alright. So I assume that'll be a Recruiter for a Flicker Wisp. Yep. You're a touch slow, but I still appreciate you being here. Ah, God. Why am I playing so badly? I missed a Goblin there. Which is potentially just, like, super, super relevant this game. Really, really kicking myself. Wow, super surprised my opponent is going to let me have 2 creatures here. Yeah, having that other Goblin on board is so relevant. Yeah, so now they're just going to get to double Swords of Plowshare as my 2 creatures. Again, that's an instant. You can do it on my turn with no penalty. Awkward. So my opponent could be at 2 right now. No, we're not going to cast that. Yeah, they could be at 2, and then I could just be attacking in for lethal the following turn, even if they tapped out for Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Yep, they could be dead here. We should still have it anyway, but, like, I definitely messed up. Like, now there's worlds where they get a 2-drop, they violin a 2-drop, they block multiple of my things, and I don't actually close out this game. So I don't have another red mana here, so I can't actually play any of these other things. Alright, and my opponent has conceded. We end up with a 4-1. I made some mistakes in that game. They were small but costly. Just kind of one of the things when you're talking while recording and doing all these sorts of things, your attention isn't fully on the game. Not making excuses for myself, just kind of letting you know what's up. This list does seem powerful. If I expect a bunch of my opponents to be on sort of mid-rangey things where Idol of Oblivion can take over the game, or alternatively, if I expect them to be on combo decks where I can just go and just jam threat after threat after threat and expect to kill them, I can see this being a pretty strong approach. I don't know if I'm going to end up playing this on the Legacy Premier League, but I definitely did want to test it, and I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm going to go and record with a different deck now. Cheers. Hope you're having a great day.